Have you ever looked at a banana and thought, that's just a yellow fruit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on to your fruit baskets because today we're peeling back the layers on something truly extraordinary.
Oh, yeah.
What if I told you that simple banana is a botanical marvel, a historical voyager that has circled the globe, and an incredible culinary canvas waiting for endless transformations?
Mm-hmm.
It's far, far more than just a quick snack.
So much more. It's a universe of insights waiting to be explored, absolutely. It's a global staple, a botanical enigma, and as we'll discover, it can be a surprising medium for culinary artistry.
Right, pushing boundaries in the kitchen and beyond.
Exactly.
Exactly. So welcome to the deep dive. Today our mission is to embark on an in-depth exploration into the world of bananas. We're specifically focusing on their incredibly multifaceted nature and the amazing art of transforming them through preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Think of this as your shortcut to becoming truly well-informed, moving beyond casual observation to becoming, an informed connoisseur. We're not just going to unearth fascinating nuggets about its biology and history.
No, we're also taking a deep dive into the Hip Hop Preserve collection, which sounds amazing, by the way.
Doesn't it? A
Yeah.
truly unique take on turning this fruit into culinary masterpieces.
Yeah, our sources for this deep dive are a really rich, blended stack. We've pulled from a comprehensive article that lays out the detailed scientific information, giving us those botanical facts and crucial historical context.
Okay.
And then we have the incredibly creative and instructional Hip Hop Preserve collection itself. It sort of marries these detailed botanical facts with really innovative culinary techniques. It presents preservation not just as like a task, but as a genuine art form.
I love that. So our goal for you, our listener, is to give you not just surprising fact, but practical, actionable insights too. We want to change the way you look at this common fruit forever.
Yeah, move you from a casual observer to an informed connoisseur.
And who knows, maybe even inspire you to become a culinary artist yourself. This is an instructional deep dive, really meant to walk you through every fascinating detail and every intricate step, especially with those preserves.
Absolutely. Let's unpack this.
Let's get started. Okay, let's kick things off by really understanding the banana from its roots, quite literally. Botanically, this fruit is far more complex than its unassuming yellow exterior suggests. Hashtag A. Botanical basics more than meets the eye.
Well, what's truly fascinating here, and often a surprise to many, is that, botanically speaking, a banana isn't actually a fruit in the common, everyday sense we think of.
Really?
Yeah, it's classified as a berry.
A berry. No way, like a blueberry.
Well, kinda. When we picture berries, we often think of those small, seedy fruits, right? Blueberries, raspberries. But the key characteristic that makes a banana a berry is that it develops from a single flower with a single ovary.
Okay.
And it typically has a fleshy interior with embedded seeds, even if those seeds are like vestigial or infertile in the cultivated varieties we eat.
Huh. So that's the definition.
That's the botanical definition, yeah. This berry is produced by these large, tree-like herbaceous flowering plants belonging to the genus Musa.
And that's another mind bender, right? It looks exactly like a tree, but is not actually a tree.
It's not a tree at all.
It's a plant that grows from the ground up with what looks like a trunk being just a collection of leaves. That always blows my mind.
Precisely. That seemingly sturdy trunk isn't wood at all. It's called a pseudostem, a false stem. It's composed of tightly packed, overlapping leaf stalks or petioles.
Wow.
And this structure fundamentally changes how we understand its growth and reproduction compared to, a true tree. Within this big Musa genus, we often make a culinary distinction between what we call dessert bananas, those sweet, soft ones you typically eat raw.
Right, the yellow ones.
Yeah, and cooking bananas, commonly known as plantains, which are starchier and usually need cooking.
Okay.
However, this distinction isn't always clear-cut. Especially in Southeast Asia, which is the primary center of banana diversity, this line blurs considerably. Many varieties there are enjoyed both raw and cooked.
So if you're picturing just a yellow Cavendish banana from the supermarket, you're missing a huge spectrum. You're saying bananas can be sweet or starchy, big or small, and come in different colors, not just yellow.
Absolutely. The fruit itself is incredibly diverse. Size, color, firmness. It varies massively. While the familiar shape is, elongated and curved, the peel can range from green, yellow, red, even purple when ripe.
Purple bananas.
Oh, yeah. And the flesh, too, varies. Creamy white to pinkish orange. It's typically soft and rich in starch, which, as you know, converts to sugar as it ripens.
Right.
And unlike many fruits that hang downwards from branches, bananas have this unique growth pattern. They typically grow upwards in clusters or hands near the top of the plant.
Upwards. That seems counterintuitive for something so heavy. Okay, let's really trace its lineage. Where did these amazing plants come from, and how did they become such a global phenomenon?
Well, almost all modern edible seedless bananas, the parthenocarpic varieties we enjoy today, derive from just two wild seed-producing species.
Just two.
Just two ancestors, basically, Musa cuminata and Musa balbisiana, or their hybrids. These original Musa species are native to tropical Indomalaya and Australia.
Right.
And the banana was most likely first domesticated by humans in New Guinea.
New Guinea. Interesting.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that members of the genus Ensight, like the snow banana or the economically important false banana of Africa, they're sometimes included when we discuss the broader banana family, the Musaceae family. It highlights their close botanical relationship.
Gotcha. And the plant itself is a true giant of the plant kingdom. Largest herbaceous flowering plant. That's pretty impressive title. It really underscores the sheer scale.
It truly is. All the above-ground parts of a banana plant grow with remarkable speed and vigor from an underground structure called a corm. Think of it like a bulbous underground stem.
Right.
These plants are fast-growing. They can shoot up to 1.6 meters. That's about 5.2 feet per day under optimal conditions.
Per day. That's incredible growth.
Insane, right? Their height can vary dramatically depending on the variety and conditions. From around 3 meters, maybe 10 feet, for a dwarf Cavendish to a towering 7 meters, like 23 feet, or even more for something like a Gros Michel.
Wow.
And their spirally arranged leaves can be enormous, growing up to 2.7 meters, nearly 9 feet long.
Huge leaves.
Massive. Once a banana plant matures, its corm stops producing new leaves and instead forms a single flower spike, or inflorescence. That's also known as the banana heart.
Right. I've seen those used in cooking.
Exactly. After this inflorescence develops fruit, the pseudostem that produced it dies back. But crucially, offshoots, or suckers, will have normally developed from the base.
Ah, so it keeps going.
Yeah, ensuring the plant as a whole is perennial. It continues to live and produce year after year through these offshoots.
So it's not a one-and-done deal for the plant, but a continuous cycle of life and renewal. And the flowers themselves, are there separate male and female flowers on that banana heart?
Yes, that inflorescence, the banana heart, it's quite complex. It contains many petal-like bracts between rows of flowers. The female flowers, those are the ones that actually develop into fruit.
Okay.
They appear in rows further up the stem, closer to the leaves than the rows of male flowers below them.
Interesting arrangement.
Yeah, this strategic arrangement of female flowers higher up is key to how the plant functions reproductively, even for the seedless cultivated varieties we eat. It sort of optimizes their chances for pollination, or in the seedless types, for fruit development without fertilization.
Got it. Now let's talk about the fruit's anatomy in more detail. When you see a bunch of bananas hanging there, you're looking at quite an intricate structure.
Indeed. The individual fruits develop from that banana heart in a large hanging cluster, commonly called a bunch.
Right.
And this bunch isn't just a random collection. It's typically made up of around 9 tiers, which are known as hands.
Hands, okay.
And each hand can contain up to 20 individual fruits or fingers. A single mature bunch can be quite heavy, weighing anywhere from 22 to 65 kilograms. That's like 49 to 143 pounds.
Wow, that's a serious amount of fruit.
It really is. The fruit itself has been botanically described as a leathery berry.
Leathery berry, I like that.
Yeah, because of its protective outer layer, the peel or skin, and its fleshy interior. Beneath the peel, you find numerous long, thin, vascular bundles. They run lengthwise between the skin and the edible inner white flesh.
Okay.
And while many people, intuitively start peeling a banana from the stalk end.
Yeah, that's how I always do it.
Me too, mostly. But it's actually considered optimal to peel from the blossom end, the bottom tip. It often makes it easier to open without mashing the fruit.
Huh. I'll have to try that next time. And the inside of a banana, you said it's more structured than you'd think, almost segmented?
It is. The inner part of the common yellow dessert variety can actually be split quite neatly lengthwise into 3 distinct sections.
3 sections.
Yeah. These sections correspond to the inner portions of the fruit's 3 carpels. Those are the individual units of the ovary from which the fruit develops. You can often see this if you carefully deform an unopened fruit or just observe a perfectly ripe one as it naturally splits.
I think I know what you mean.
But in the cultivated varieties we eat, fertile seeds are typically absent due to selective breeding. That's why we can enjoy them without crunching on hard bits, making them a much more palatable and convenient snack.
Thank goodness for selective breeding there. #B. Historical journey from ancient swamps to global staple. That's a deep dive into the botanical structure. But bananas also have this incredible story of global conquest, a journey that spans millennia and continents. Let's really trace their fascinating historical journey step by step.
Okay, the story begins with the earliest domestication of Musa species. And this actually started with naturally occurring parthenocarpic or seedless individuals of Musa banksii in New Guinea.
So, wild seedless bananas.
Exactly, naturally occurring mutants, essentially. These were cultivated by Papuan peoples even before the arrival of Austronesian speakers. Archaeological evidence from the Kukuk swamp site in New Guinea dates this cultivation way back to around 10,000 to 6,500 years before the present.
10,000 years ago, that's amazing.
It indicates very early and sophisticated cultivation by these indigenous Papuan groups. Early foraging humans in this region began the process of domestication in the late Pleistocene, using methods like transplantation and, rudimentary cultivation, gradually selecting for desirable traits.
Wow.
By the early to middle Holocene, the process of full domestication was well underway, transforming these wild plants into staple food crops.
So New Guinea is the definitive birthplace of the cultivated banana.
Yeah.
How did these unique plants manage to spread across such vast distances and oceans to the rest of the world? Seems incredible.
Well, from New Guinea, these cultivated bananas began their remarkable spread westward into islands Southeast Asia. Along these routes, they hybridized with other subspecies of Musa acuminata and, importantly, with Musa balbisiana in key regions like the Philippines, northern New Guinea, and possibly Halmahera.
Okay, so mixing and matching genes.
Precisely. These hybridization events were crucial because they led to the development of the triploid cultivars of bananas that are most commonly grown today. They combined the best traits of their wild ancestors.
Right.
From island Southeast Asia, bananas became a staple domesticated crop of the Austronesian peoples, who were, as you know, master seafarers.
The great navigators.
Exactly. They were further spread via these ancient Austronesian seaborne migrations and extensive maritime trading routes. They ventured into Oceania, then westward into Africa, and north into South Asia and Indochina. It demonstrates a truly ancient network of human interaction and agricultural dispersal.
So, Austronesian sailors were essentially the original global banana distributors, a crucial link in this botanical story.
That's incredible. What about Africa specifically? How did bananas make their way to such a distant continent?
Yeah, the prevailing theory is that bananas were introduced to Africa from Southeast Asia via the Austronesian settlement of Madagascar. This happened around 600 AD.
Madagascar.
This theory is strongly supported by several compelling pieces of evidence. For instance, we find these relict populations of accidentally introduced seeded Musa acuminata in northeastern Madagascar and Pemba Island off Tanzania. They act like genetic fingerprints of this migration.
Wow.
Furthermore, the distinct phenotypes, the observable characteristics, and the distribution patterns of cultivated polyploid bananas across Africa provide clear evidence of a Southeast Asian origin for these African varieties.
Yes.
And while Madagascar's role as a staging ground is well accepted, historical contacts between East Africa and island Southeast Asia actually date back to at least 300 BC.
Oh, yeah, suggesting that even earlier, perhaps more limited, introductions might not be entirely ruled out, though they were likely less impactful than that larger wave around 600 AD.
And these introductions to Africa were particularly significant because they led to what we now identify as true plantains, right? The cooking bananas.
That's absolutely correct. These ancient introductions to Africa were the origin of a major banana subgroup, now specifically known as the true plantains. This group notably includes the East African highland bananas, which are a huge food staple in places like Uganda,
Right.
and the Pacific plantains, specifically categorized into the Iholina and Maoli Populu subgroups. Genetic evidence actually provides further detail, showing that East African highland bananas originated from a specific hybridization event that occurred in the region encompassing Java, Borneo, and New Guinea.
Fascinating.
Pacific plantains, on the other hand, were introduced to the Pacific Islands from banana populations originating from either eastern New Guinea or the Bismarck Archipelago, again underscoring these deep historical connections.
So it wasn't just one single massive wave of dispersal. It sounds like there are multiple distinct spreads and introductions over long periods of time. Very complex.
Exactly. Following these initial dispersals, another significant wave of introductions later spread domesticated polyploid bananas to other parts of tropical Asia, particularly Indochina and the Indian subcontinent. This further cemented their presence as a staple crop across the region.
Okay.
Even today, Southeast Asia remains the region of primary diversity for the banana. It hosts an incredible array of wild and cultivated varieties. Africa is considered a secondary center of diversity, which speaks to its long and rich history of banana cultivation there and the unique evolutionary paths the fruit took on the continent.
Now, I hear there have been some debates about even earlier introductions to places like Africa, much earlier than the Austronesian migrations we just discussed. Can you shed some light on why those claims sparked such a discussion and why they're largely considered dubious now?
Yes, there certainly have been claims that sparked considerable debate among researchers. In the 21st century, discoveries of alleged banana phytoliths, those are microscopic plant silica bodies that can survive in archaeological sediments for millennia.
Okay, phytoliths.
Yeah, they were found in Uganda and Cameroon and initially suggested dates as early as the first millennium BC or even earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This really challenged the accepted timeline of Austronesian introduction.
Right, that would rewrite history.
It would. However, the scientific community now largely considers the identification of the remains in Uganda as phytoliths, and specifically banana phytoliths, to be dubious. There are uncertainties in their precise identification in the context of their discovery.
Hmm.
The Cameroon phytoliths, while confirmed as Musa, despite some initial doubts they might be from Ense, a related genus, still present an incongruous and exceptionally early date.
So what makes scientists skeptical?
Well, several factors contribute. The very low number of phytoliths recovered, only 25 in one instance, the absence of additional phytoliths in more recent continuous sediment layers, and the possibility of stratigraphic mixing, where older and newer materials get unintentionally jumbled up.
Ah, contamination issues.
Potentially. Moreover, an introduction date of 2000 to 1000 BC is highly unlikely because this period was long before there was any significant evidence of systematic agriculture in East Africa. And crucially, these polyploid banana cultivars are sterile. They don't spread naturally without human cultivation and propagation.
Right, humans had to carry them.
Exactly, making such an early, unassisted dispersal just implausible.
That context really helps explain the skepticism. What about similar claims from the Indus Valley Civilization or the Levant? Were those also based on phytoliths?
Similarly, yes. Phytoliths recovered from the Khatdiji archaeological site in Pakistan were interpreted as potential evidence that bananas were known to the Indus Valley Civilization, possibly indicating a very early dispersal by Austronesian traders as early as 2000 BCE. But again, this remains putative, unconfirmed.
Why?
Well, these phytoliths could have come from local wild Musa species used for fiber or as ornamentals, not necessarily for food. And the general absence of banana phytoliths in other contemporary sites in South Asia weakens the argument for widespread culinary use back then.
Okay.
In the southern Levant, glucanase and two other proteins specific to the Musaceae family were found in dental calculus, that's fossilized plaque on teeth, from early Iron Age Philistines dating to the 12th century BCE.
Wow, from teeth plaque.
Yeah. Amazing what they can find. However, the authors only tentatively identify it as Musa, because these proteins can also be found in ensate, which was cultivated for its edible corms and pseudostems in Africa. So, these claims, while intriguing, highlight the ongoing challenges and the need for rigorous scientific verification when tracing the deepest history of banana dispersal. It underscores the importance of careful interpretation of archaeological data.
Definitely requires caution.
Yeah.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. The Arab agricultural revolution. This period seems to have played a huge, transformative role in the banana's spread across a significant part of the world.
It absolutely did, a pivotal period. While the banana may have been present in isolated locations in the Middle East just prior to the rise of Islam, its true widespread diffusion began with and largely followed the expansion of Islam.
Okay.
There are numerous references to it in Islamic texts, including poems and hadiths from the 9th century onwards. This indicates its growing cultural and culinary presence. By the 10th century, the banana appeared prominently in texts from Palestine and Egypt. From these centers, it rapidly diffused into North Africa and then westward into Al-Andalus, which was Islamic Spain, during that transformative period known as the Arab Agricultural Revolution.
So it spread with trade and culture.
Exactly. Agricultural works from this era, like Ibn al-Imam's monumental 12th century Kitab al-Philo, meaning book on agriculture, even included detailed articles on banana tree cultivation. They provided practical instruction for growers.
Wow, farming manuals back then.
Yeah. During the Middle Ages, bananas from Granada were particularly highly prized and traded throughout the Arab world. By the late medieval period, around 1458, the Italian traveler Gabriele Capodilista recorded that bananas were certainly being grown in the Christian kingdom of Cyprus, showing its further reach into the Mediterranean.
And then the Europeans got involved, taking it even further across the Atlantic and Pacific, cementing its status as a truly global fruit.
Yes, in the early modern period, European explorers first encountered bananas during the Magellan expedition in 1521. They found them in places like Guam and the
That's what they
Philippines.
call them.
Well, lacking a specific name for the fruit, the expedition's historian, Antonio Picafetta, vividly described them as figs more than one palm long.
Figs. Okay, gives you a sense of how unfamiliar they were.
Right. From Asia, Portuguese sailors then played a crucial role. They introduced bananas to South America, bringing them from West Africa in the 16th century.
Okay, crossing the Atlantic.
Simultaneously, Southeast Asian banana cultivars, along with abaco, which was grown for its valuable fibers, were introduced across the Pacific to North and Central America by the Spanish via the Manila galleons, those incredible trans-Pacific trading ships.
The galleon trade, right?
Yeah. This complex network of trade, exploration, and intentional introduction solidified the banana's presence across nearly every tropical region of the globe, making it the truly global staple we know today. Taxonomy and classification, a complicated family tree.
Okay, with all this global spread, hybridization, and ancient history, I can only imagine how complicated classifying bananas must be for botanists. It sounds like a real challenge to map out his family tree accurately.
You're absolutely right. It's a fascinatingly complex field full of botanical detective work. The genus Musa was first formally created and named by the renowned botanist Carl Linnaeus back in 1753.
Linnaeus, the father of taxonomy.
The very same. The name Musa itself might have a couple of possible derivations. It could be from Antonius Musa, who was a physician to Emperor Augustus.
Oh, cool.
Or Linnaeus may have adapted the Arabic word for banana, maus. Interestingly, the ultimate origin of Musa may even be found in ancient Trans-New Guinea languages, with words similar to hashmuku, which then traveled through Austronesian languages and across Asia, accompanying banana cultivation.
Wow, the name itself has a journey.
It does. As for the English word banana, it's generally thought to have a West African origin, possibly from the Wolof word banana passing into English via Spanish or Portuguese traders.
Okay, so Linnaeus initiated the scientific classification, but it sounds like his initial approach was, shall we say, a little too simplistic for the incredible diversity of the real banana world.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. Linnaeus initially categorized bananas into just two species based solely on their culinary uses. Musa sapientum for dessert bananas, implying wise fruit,
Wise fruit, okay.
and Musa paradisiaca for plantains, or fruit of paradise.
Paradise fruit, even better.
Right. While more species names were added over time by other botanists, this utilitarian approach just proved to be completely inadequate. Especially given the sheer number and genetic complexity of cultivars found in Southeast Asia, the genus's primary center of diversity.
It just couldn't cope.
No. Many of these early cultivar names were later discovered to be synonyms, further adding to the confusion and making scientific communication incredibly difficult.
So how did botanists manage to sort out this tangled botanical mess and develop a more accurate classification system? It sounds like a significant breakthrough was needed.
A truly significant breakthrough came with the work of botanist Ernest Cheeseman. In a series of groundbreaking papers published from 1947 onward, he fundamentally reevaluated banana taxonomy.
Cheeseman, okay. What did he figure out?
Cheeseman showed that Linnaeus's Musa sapientum and Musa paradisiaca were not distinct species at all. They were actually cultivars cultivated varieties, descended from just two wild seed-producing species, Musa acuminata and Musa belbisiana, the ones we mentioned earlier.
Ah, back to the two ancestors.
Exactly. His revolutionary recommendation was to abolish Linnaeus's problematic species names in favor of reclassifying bananas based on three morphologically distinct groups of cultivars, those primarily showing Musa belbisiana traits, those primarily showing Musa acuminata traits, and those that were complex hybrids with characteristics of both.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, this approach finally acknowledged the genetic reality behind the cultivated forms.
Grouping them by their ancestral genetic contributions. Did this new system become the widely accepted scientific standard?
Well, this scientific push for a more accurate classification led to further crucial refinement. Researchers Norman Simmons and Ken Shepard, building on Cheeseman's work, proposed a genome-based nomenclature system in 1955.
Genome-based, okay.
This system effectively resolved almost all the difficulties and inconsistencies of the earlier morphology-based classification, which had tried to assign scientific names to individual cultivated varieties as if they were distinct species.
Finally, some clarity.
Mostly. Despite this major advance, it's worth noting that some botanical authorities still, for historical or practical reasons, recognize the original Linnaean names, which can, unfortunately, still lead to some confusion in certain contexts.
Oh, okay. So not perfectly streamlined yet.
Not entirely, but much better. The accepted scientific names for most groups of cultivated bananas today are Musa acuminata and Musa balbisiana for the ancestral wild species, and Musa aparidisiaca for their hybrid forms.
Got it. And there's something quite unique about their genetics that significantly aids in this kind of complex taxonomic study, making it easier to trace their lineage.
There is indeed a fascinating genetic quirk that acts as a powerful tool for taxonomists. In bananas, chloroplast DNA is maternally inherited.
From the mother plant.
Right, solely from the mother plant, while mitochondrial DNA is paternally inherited, coming from the father plant.
Huh, that's unusual.
It is quite unusual in the plant kingdom. This pattern provides distinct genetic markers that greatly facilitate the taxonomic study of species and subspecies relationships. By analyzing these different genetic lineages, researchers can trace the ancestry of various cultivars and wild species with remarkable precision, helping to untangle that complex family tree of the banana.
A genetic fingerprint from both sides. Cool. So that's the detailed scientific breakdown of classification. But in everyday life, we still commonly use that banana versus plantain divide, even if botanists find it too simplistic.
Yes, informally, this distinction persists quite strongly, especially in regions like North America and Europe where the market is less diverse. Here, Musa fruits sold are generally divided into small, sweet bananas that are typically eaten raw when ripe as a dessert.
Our Cavendish.
Exactly. Versus larger, starchier plantains or cooking bananas, which are usually not eaten raw and must be cooked before consumption. Linnaeus, as we discussed, even made this initial distinction. The plantain subgroup of banana cultivars, which are most important as a food staple in West Africa and Latin America, generally fit this description. They have distinctively long, pointed fruit. Pletz et al. Specifically describe these as true plantains, distinguishing them from other categories of cooking bananas.
But again, you mentioned earlier that this distinction isn't universal and actually breaks down quite a bit in the banana's true home in Southeast Asia.
Not at all universal. This simple dichotomy is far from it. For instance, the cooking bananas of East Africa, while starchy and requiring cooking, belong to a completely different genetic group known as the East African Highland bananas.
Okay, different lineage.
Totally different. And if you venture into Southeast Asia, the very center of banana diversity, the distinction between bananas and plantains truly breaks down. Many varieties there are incredibly versatile, used both raw and cooked. And you'll even find starchy cooking bananas that are actually smaller than some dessert varieties.
Really? Smaller cooking bananas?
Oh, yeah. The sheer range of colors, sizes, and shapes in Southeast Asia is far wider than what is typically grown or sold in Africa, Europe, or the Americas. It's so fluid that languages in Southeast Asia often don't even make this distinction.
Like you said with pisang.
Exactly. Both the sweet Cavendish dessert bananas and the starchy soba cooking bananas are simply called pisang in Malaysia and Indonesia, kuai in Thailand, and chuy in Vietnam.
One word fits all.
Pretty much. Another interesting and distinct group is the Fei bananas, which are cultivated and eaten in the Pacific Islands. These are derived from different wild species than the Musa acuminata and Musa balbisiana lineage we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Most Fei bananas are cooked, though some, like the carrot bananas, which are short, squat, and have bright red skins, are surprisingly eaten raw.
Red bananas eaten raw.
Oh, wow.
It truly highlights the incredible diversity and the limitations of trying to impose a simple banana versus plantain label on this global phenomenon.
Absolutely. It's much more complex and fascinating than that simple split suggests.
All right, now that we're all basically banana botany experts, having delved deep into its origins and classifications, let's switch gears and get into something truly exciting, transforming this incredible fruit. We're talking about the Hip Hop Preserve Collection, and trust me, this isn't just your grandma's preserves. It's an instructional tutorial on culinary innovation, Hashtag tag, hashtag tag he. The philosophy of the hip-hop preserve collection.
Yeah, this collection really embodies a modern, almost rebellious approach to an ancient craft, much like sampling and remixing in music. It's about moving beyond grandma's kitchen, as the source puts it.
I love that phrase.
Me too. Pushing boundaries, sampling exotic ingredients from around the world, and creating beats so fresh they'll change the whole preserve game forever. The philosophy here isn't just about replicating traditional recipes, it's about innovating within the medium, drawing inspiration from diverse global culinary traditions to create something entirely new and exciting.
I love that framing. It truly elevates preservation into an art form, blending classic techniques with modern innovation. They even call the fruit a canvas for endless creativity, which really speaks to how much potential the banana holds.
Indeed. The collection itself is incredibly comprehensive. It offers 22 different preservation methods.
22, wow.
Yeah. These range from what they describe as quick singles, which are fast and accessible recipes, to more experimental deep cuts, which really push the boundaries of flavor and technique.
Singles and deep cuts, okay.
These methods demonstrate a wide spectrum of approaches, utilizing everything from high-tech kitchen tools to ancient fermentation vessels, showcasing the versatility of preservation. And importantly, each method in this instructional guide includes a thorough nutritional breakdown.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, highlighting not just the calorie count, but also beneficial compounds like anti-inflammatory agents, probiotics, and fiber. It adds a vital health-conscious dimension to the culinary artistry. It's a really holistic approach to understanding and creating preserves.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the actual tracks in this collection, and learn how to make these incredible preserves. Yeah. This is where it gets really instructional, because these are real, detailed recipes for you to follow. First up, banana attar. Underground spice cipher. This promises a truly traditional yet revolutionary flavor profile. Sounds intense.
It does. The core concept here is a fermented spiced banana preserve that draws on traditional South Asian pickling techniques, attar making. So it's both familiar in its roots and kind of revolutionary in its application to bananas. It's about unlocking unexpected depths of flavor.
Okay, what do we need? The ingredients.
Right, for the ingredients you'll need 3 cups of firm bananas cubed. They recommend Cavendish for its consistent texture. That's about 270 calories. 1/4 cup of black sesame oil. Crucial for its nutty depth and high smoke point, adds 240 calories.
Black sesame oil, okay.
2 tablespoons of black mustard seeds for that sharp, pungent flavor when popped, about 60 calories. 1 tablespoon of nigella seeds, also known as kalonji. They offer a unique onion-like, slightly bitter, smoky taste. That's 8 calories. 2 tablespoons of turmeric powder, essential for earthy flavor, vibrant color, anti-inflammatory properties. 48 calories there.
Turmeric, standard for a jar.
1 tablespoon of ground fenugreek adds a complex, slightly bitter, sweet aroma. 12 calories. 1 tablespoon of Korean chili flakes, gochujang, chosen for its moderate heat and fruity, smoky notes. 16 calories. 3 inches of galangal, julienne, brings a bright, citrusy, piney zest. 12 calories.
Galangal, not ginger.
Yeah.
Interesting.
4 whole Thai bird chilies for a direct hit of fiery heat. 8 calories. 3 tablespoons of coconut palm sugar for a caramel-like sweetness, lower glycemic impact, 105 calories. 2 tablespoons of black lime powder provides a sour, smoky, earthy citrus note, 8 calories.
Black lime, wow.
And 1 tablespoon of sumac for its tangy, slightly fruity acidity, another 8 calories.
Okay, quite the list. What's the calorie count per serving?
A single serving, about 1/4 cup of this banana attar, comes in at approximately 175 calories.
All right, let's get into the deep production, the step-by-step instructions for crafting this underground spice cipher. This sounds like a symphony of flavors being built. How do we start?
It absolutely is a symphony. The first step, called opening cipher, takes about 15 minutes. You begin by heating the black sesame oil until it's visibly smoking. This tempers the oil, makes it ready to infuse flavors.
Get it nice and hot.
Right. Then you carefully drop in the black mustard seeds. Watch closely as they begin to pop and crinkle. This indicates they're releasing their essential oils and distinctive pungent flavor, like a freestyle battle getting heated, establishing that energetic foundation.
Okay, popping mustard seeds, got it. What's next?
Next, for the underground flow, which is a quick 10 minutes, you'll systematically layer in the turmeric, gochujang, galangal, nigella seeds, and ground fenugreek. This step is about building your intricate spice arsenal. You want to make sure each spice blooms in the hot oil, releasing its full aromatic potential before being overwhelmed by the next.
Blooming the spices. Important step.
Very. Then for banana bars, taking 20 minutes, you'll gently fold in the cubed bananas. The key here is to coat each piece thoroughly with the fragrant spice mixture while maintaining their structural integrity. You're looking for them to soften slightly but not turn mushy. It's a delicate balance, that perfect break between tenderness and firmness.
Don't want banana mush. Gently fold.
Exactly. Finally, for album maturation, this crucial step requires patience. You'll need to age the acar for a full 7 days. This allows the fermentation process to occur, leading to deeper, more complex, and harmonized flavors. It transforms it from just a collection of ingredients into a truly unified preservation masterpiece.
7 days of aging. Okay, patience is key. That sounds like an incredible transformation, and the nutritional breakdown promises more than just flavor.
Indeed. One serving of banana acar offers 175 calories, 22 grams of carbs with 14G sugar, 4 grams of fiber, and 9 grams of healthy fats. Beyond just the macros, it's packed with potent anti-inflammatory compounds, mainly from the turmeric and fenugreek.
Nice health bonus.
And it carries significant probiotic potential from the fermentation process. As for performance notes, how to use it, this versatile preserve pairs excellently with rich curry dishes, offers a vibrant counterpoint to warm naan bread, or can stand alone as a seriously dynamic condiment, bringing complex heat and acidity to any meal.
Sounds amazing. Okay, next up, a total vibe shift. A smooth R&B classic, banana curd. This one sounds incredibly luxurious and promises a very different experience.
It truly is. Silky, rich, sophisticated banana spread. It marries tropical and delicate citrus notes with a velvety texture. This is about pure indulgence, really smooth.
Okay, what are the key ingredients for this luxurious curd? And the calories?
Right. Here are the key ingredients and their calorie contributions for a serving. 1 cup of ultra-smooth banana puree. This is the foundation for its luxurious texture, about 90 calories. Gotta be smooth.
Ultra smooth, got it.
4 large duck egg yolks, chosen for their superior richness and emulsifying properties compared to chicken eggs, adds 240 calories.
Duck eggs, interesting choice, more richness.
Exactly. Deeper flavor, better texture. 1/4 cup of cultured butter provides a deep, tangy, complex, buttery flavor, 200 calories. 1 cup of palm sugar offers a nuanced caramel-like sweetness, 120 calories. 2 tablespoons of fresh yuzu juice, crucial for its bright, aromatic, distinctly floral citrus notes, 8 calories.
Yuzu, love that flavor.
1 tablespoon of yuzu zest, intensifying that exquisite citrus aroma, 3 calories. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste for rich, deep vanilla essence, 3 calories. And 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom oil delivers an intense, fragrant, slightly spicy warmth, contributes 2 calories.
Cardamom oil, okay. A little goes a long way there.
Definitely. 1 serving, about 1/4 cup of this decadent curd, is approximately 200 calories.
Let's get into the R&B studio magic, the step-by-step process to create this smooth classic. Getting that velvety texture sounds like a delicate art. How do we achieve that?
It certainly is a delicate art where precision creates perfection. First, the velvet foundation, taking about 20 minutes. The absolute crucial first step is to create an ultra-smooth banana puree. The source strongly emphasizes straining it twice if needed.
Strain it twice?
Yeah, because even the slightest textural imperfection kills the vibe of this curd. You're aiming for absolute silkiness.
No lumps allowed.
None. Then, for egg harmony, taking 8 minutes, you'll meticulously whisk the duck egg yolks with the palm sugar until the mixture is pale yellow and thick, forming a ribbon when lifted. This aeration and emulsification are vital for creating that signature curd richness and stability.
Whisk till pale and thick. Standard curd technique.
Right. Step 3, temperature control for 12 minutes. This is where precision is paramount. You slowly combine the warm, ultra-smooth banana puree with the egg mixture over gentle, indirect heat, like a double boiler.
Double boiler. Okay, gentle heat.
Yes. You must whisk constantly to prevent scrambling the eggs. The instruction warns that even 1 degree too hot and the whole session's ruined. You need to reach the perfect thickening point without overcooking.
High-stakes curd making. Constant whisking.
Totally. Finally, for butter smoothing, in 6 minutes after the curd has thickened, you'll remove it from the heat and whisk in the cultured butter piece by piece. This technique ensures the butter is fully emulsified, making the curd cohesive, glossy, and exquisitely luxurious, like adding those final, perfectly blended vocal layers to a track.
Whisking in butter at the end for shine and richness. Got it. This truly sounds like a labor of love that rewards patience and precision. What are its smooth operator stats, and how can we put it into R&B rotation? How do we use it?
Okay, one serving of this banana curd provides 200 calories, 24 grams of carbs with 20 grams sugar, 2 grams of fiber, and 12 grams of rich, healthy fats. For its R&B rotation, its versatility allows for sophisticated culinary applications. Use it to fill delicate pastry shells for elegant desserts.
Ooh, like little tarts.
Exactly. Create luxurious parfait layers with yogurt or granola, or simply spread it generously on warm, freshly baked scones or brioche for that smooth, soulful sweetness. It's a truly indulgent experience.
Sounds divine on scones.
Yeah.
Okay, now for something completely different, really pushing the boundaries. Banana fermented fruit. Underground experimental. This sounds like a deep dive into microbial transformation.
Yeah, this technique truly transforms simple bananas into a probiotic-rich, unexpectedly complex, and utterly unique food through the ancient yet revolutionary process of fermentation. It's an adventure in flavor, for sure.
Okay, what do we need for this lab session? The ingredients sound like they're setting up a whole ecosystem.
They are designed to create a vibrant microbial ecosystem. You'll need 3 cups of firm bananas, thick sliced. Firmness is key here to maintain texture during fermentation. 270 calories. 3 tablespoons of gray sea salt. Acts as a crucial preservative and creates the brine. 0 calories.
Gray sea salt specific.
2 tablespoons of raw wildflower honey. Contributes a touch of natural sugar to fuel the fermentation and nuanced sweetness. 42 calories. 5 cups of filtered water. The base for your brine. 0 calories. 3 tablespoons of fresh whey or a high-quality culture starter to kickstart the beneficial bacterial activity, 15 calories.
Whey or starter culture, okay.
2 tablespoons of fresh turmeric root, sliced, for vibrant color, earthy flavor, anti-inflammatory benefits, 8 calories. 1 tablespoon of black peppercorns, adds subtle warmth, enhances turmeric bioavailability, 18 calories. 4 curry leaves for an authentic South Indian aromatic complexity, 2 calories.
Curry leaves in a ferment. Interesting.
And 2 strips of kombu seaweed introduces a profound umami depth to the ferment. 10 calories.
Kombu too. Wow, this is definitely experimental. Calorie count.
A serving of about a quarter cup of this banana fermented fruit is about 95 calories.
Let's break down the experimental process for this, because fermentation is all about understanding that microbial collaboration, right?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Precisely. First, culture creation, taking about 20 minutes. The initial step involves meticulously setting up the perfect anaerobic, oxygen-free environment for beneficial bacteria to do their revolutionary work. This involves mixing the salt, honey, and water to create the brine and preparing your fermentation vessel like a jar with an airlock.
Setting the stage for the microbes.
Exactly. Next, for microbial collaboration, in 15 minutes, you'll carefully introduce your fresh whey or culture starter into the banana and spice mixture. This crucial step inoculates the bananas with beneficial bacteria, initiating the transformation from simple fruit into something completely unexpected and complex.
Adding the good bugs.
Right. Then, for flavor innovation, which is a brief 5 minutes, you strategically add the kombu for its deep, savory umami depth and the curry leaves for their characteristic South Indian aromatic complexity. These additions aren't just for flavor, they push the ferment into uncharted culinary territory, layering subtle, nuanced notes.
Building complexity. Kombu and curry leaves.
Yeah. The final and most crucial step is time-based composition. This requires a minimum of 7 to 14 days, or even longer depending on your desired flavor intensity and the ambient temperature. During this period, the culture actively works its magic, converting sugars, creating lactic acid, and developing entirely new flavor layers and probiotic complexity, much like an experimental album that deepens and reveals more nuances with repeated listening and time.
So 7 to 14 days of fermentation, watching it develop. That's a truly unique, hands-on approach to bananas, really leveraging natural processes.
Yeah.
What are the underground stats, and how can we build a cult following for this? How would you even eat it?
Okay, 1 serving of banana fermented fruit delivers 95 calories, 16 grams of carbs, but with a reduced 4 grams of sugar, because the microbes ate so.
Oh, less sugar. Good.
Yeah, 3 grams of fiber, 1 gram of transformative fats, plus, most importantly, living probiotics that contribute to gut health. It's meant to develop a devoted fan base. For its cult following, you can serve it as a standalone digestive health booster, appreciating its complex, sour-sweet profile. The flavorful brine can be ingeniously used in experimental cocktails or salad dressings.
Fermented banana brine cocktail.
Right. And the fermented bananas themselves can be showcased as a fascinating piece of culinary art, proving that fermentation can transform anything, even a common banana, into an extraordinary experience.
Very cool. Okay, from experimental back to a classic, let's move to banana jam, classic hip-hop. This is a time-tested favorite that still hits all the right notes, but with a rich, comforting, and authentic twist. Sounds more straightforward.
Yeah, this recipe is all about a time-tested, authentic banana jam. Rich texture, comforting spice profile, a true golden era production that evokes warmth and nostalgia.
Okay, what are the key ingredients for this classic jam?
The key ingredients for this classic are 2 cups of bananas, mashed chunky. This is essential for texture and substance. Provides 180 calories.
Chunky mash, not puree this time.
Right, texture is key here. 3/4 cup of brown sugar, chosen for its molasses depth and complex caramelized sweetness. 360 calories. 3 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. Adds bright acidity and helps activate the pectin for setting. 11 calories. 2 tablespoons of dark rum to infuse a warm, nuanced, slightly boozy undertone. 80 calories.
Rum and banana jam, classic combo.
1 packet of natural pectin, a crucial gelling agent derived from fruit, ensuring the perfect set. 20 calories, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract for comforting aromatic sweetness. 6 calories, 1/2 teaspoon of ground allspice. Contributes a complex blend of clove, cinnamon, nutmeg notes. 3 calories. An other teaspoon of ground nutmeg for warm, slightly woody, sweet spice aroma. Another 3 calories.
Standard jam spices. How many calories per serving here?
A serving of about 1/4 cup of this banana jam provides 195 calories.
What's the golden era production process for getting this classic jam just right, step by step? How do we make it?
It's a carefully orchestrated process, like a good track. First step, foundation beats. Takes about 12 minutes. You start by preparing the bananas, mashing them chunky to ensure a desirable texture and substance in the finished jam, like laying down that classic breakbeat that grounds the entire track.
Chunky banana base. Got it.
Next, for sugar integration, taking 15 minutes, you'll incorporate the brown sugar. The step is crucial for adding not just sweetness, but also that distinctive molasses depth and complexity to the jam, like sampling old soul records for rich, timeless flavor.
Dissolve the brown sugar. Okay.
Then, the pectin drop, taking 8 minutes, is a critical stage. You carefully combine the natural pectin with the fresh lime juice. The acidity from the lime juice is essential to activate the pectin, ensuring a perfect set and consistency, making sure everything locks together with musical precision, preventing a runny jam.
Pectin and lime juice for the set. Crucial step.
Very. Finally, spice sampling in 5 minutes is where you integrate the ground allspice and nutmeg. These spices are carefully chosen to infuse the jam with warm, aromatic, and distinctly Caribbean influences, like golden era producers sampling diverse musical traditions to add unexpected layers of flavor and cultural resonance.
Had the spices at the end.
Hmm.
Okay. This one truly sounds like pure comfort in a jar. What's its timeless appeal and how can we enjoy it?
1 serving of this banana jam provides 195 calories, 48 grams of carbs with 44 G sugar, it is jam after all, and 3 grams of dietary fiber. For its timeless appeal, this jam is incredibly versatile and comforting. You can spread it thick on artisan toast for a luxurious breakfast classic.
Perfect on toast.
Layer it into traditional pastries or trifles for added depth, or feature it simply as a standalone condiment when you need that authentic, time-tested flavor combination that consistently delivers comfort and satisfaction.
Sounds delicious and very usable. Okay, to round out our incredible journey through these preservation techniques, we have another experimental B-side, banana vinegar. This one sounds particularly intriguing and embodies a fantastic waste not philosophy, truly showcasing the banana's full potential using peels.
This is indeed a unique tropical acidity derived resourcefully from banana peels and overripe fruit, a true testament to the waste not philosophy, embodying the principle of transforming discarded materials into something valuable and delicious.
Using peels and overripe fruit, I love that. What are the underground release ingredients for this innovative vinegar?
The ingredients for this innovative vinegar are 6 cups of ripe banana peels and overripe fruit. This forms the core of the flavor and fermentable sugars. About 150 calories. This is where waste not truly begins.
It's cups. Okay, saving those peels.
8 cups of filtered water. The medium for the fermentation. 0 calories. 1/4 cup of raw honey. Acts as the initial sugar source for the yeasts and bacteria. 160 calories. 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with mother. Serves as a crucial starter culture, introducing the necessary acetic acid bacteria, 9
They
calories,
got mother culture.
and 1 tablespoon of sea salt, used to inhibit unwanted microbes and enhance the fermentation process, 0 calories.
What's a calorie count for the final vinegar?
A serving of 1 tablespoon of this banana vinegar delivers approximately 25 calories. Very low.
How do we achieve this extended remix process for banana vinegar? This sounds like a longer, multi-stage process compared to the others.
It is indeed an extended, patient process. First, the waste not philosophy step takes about 30 minutes. You meticulously prepare and combine the banana peels and overripe fruit. Chop them up, basically. This foundation is crucial, like sampling found sounds that others discard, turning potential waste into the starting point for something innovative.
Prep the peels and fruit.
Then, fermentation initiation, which takes approximately 72 hours or 3 days. In this stage, you create an initial alcohol base through wild fermentation, primarily carried out by yeast present on the fruit and in the raw honey. This is where the raw ingredients begin their transformation, allowing the music to evolve naturally without commercial constraints.
So first stage is making alcohol, like banana wine.
Essentially, yes, a low-alcohol banana wash. Next is acetic conversion, a significantly longer process taking 4 to 8 weeks. Here, the apple cider vinegar mother introduces acetic acid bacteria. These beneficial bacteria convert the alcohol produced in the previous stage into acetic acid, resulting in the characteristic tangy and complex acidity of vinegar. This is where layered flavors develop, much like an experimental track that slowly reveals its depth.
4 to 8 weeks for the vinegar bacteria to work. Okay.
Finally, the maturation period is crucial and requires a minimum of 6 months of aging.
6 months. Wow.
Yeah, this extended time allows the nuanced flavors to fully develop, mellow, and integrate, creating a truly sophisticated vinegar that improves with time, much like vintage pressings that gain character and value.
So a lot of patience is required to bring this B-side to its full potential. What are its cult classic stats and underground distribution ideas for use? What do you do with banana peel vinegar?
Okay. 1 sieving of banana vinegar provides 25 calories, 6 grams of carbs, 5G sugar, 0 grams of fiber, plus beneficial probiotics and organic acids. For underground distribution, this unique vinegar can be used in a variety of creative ways. It makes for an incredibly distinctive salad dressing, offering a unique tropical acidity that elevates fresh greens.
Salad dressing. Okay, I can see that.
It can also be incorporated into other fermentation experiments, pushing boundaries and adding a new dimension.
Oh, no.
Ultimately, it serves as compelling proof that every single part of the banana, even the peel, has the potential for incredible transformation, showcasing the fruit's full, untapped potential.
It's amazing. From peels to vinegar. That's true resourcefulness. So we've explored the banana's amazing biology and its incredible culinary transformations through preservation. That was fascinating. But let's zoom out now to its broader global impact, because this fruit also faces significant challenges in modern cultivation and holds a profound cultural presence worldwide, far beyond just being food.
Yeah, and what's absolutely crucial for understanding the modern banana industry is what we can call the Cavendish predicament. The Cavendish group bananas, specifically that triploid Musa acuminata AAA group, they absolutely dominate global commerce.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere, accounting for nearly half of the world's production and virtually all international trade. However, this dominance combined with widespread monocropping practices where vast fields are planted with just a single genetic variety makes them incredibly vulnerable to diseases.
The danger of monoculture.
Exactly. 2 of the most serious and widespread threats are Fusarium, wilt TR4, and black scotoca. We've seen this play out historically. Panama disease, caused by a Fusarium soil fungus, famously wiped out Gros Michel.
The previous big banana.
Right, the Cavendish's predecessor, the industry standard before it collapsed. Now, TR4, a virulent new strain of Panama disease discovered in 1993, has spread relentlessly to Cavendish plantations worldwide, from Southeast Asia to Australia, India, and now the Americas. And Cavendish bananas have exceptionally high susceptibility because they lack genetic diversity. They're clones.
So it's a terrifying historical pattern repeating itself, but potentially even more dangerous this time, given our global reliance on this one type, the Cavendish. This must pose an existential threat to the industry.
It really does. And black sigatoka is another major fungal leaf spot disease that affects virtually all main cultivars, including Cavendish. It impedes photosynthesis by blackening the leaves.
Cuts off their energy production.
Right, significantly reducing the plant's ability to produce energy, thereby reducing fruit production by 50% or more and causing premature ripening. Controlling it requires an astonishingly frequent fungicide spraying regimen up to 50 times a year in some plantations.
50 times a year, that's intense.
And critically, the fungus is showing increasing resistance, making chemical control less effective over time. Then there's the banana bunchy top virus, transmitted by aphids. It causes severely stunted leaves and produces no fruit or only undeveloped fruit. It severely affects Cavendish.
Another virus.
Yeah. There's no known cure for an infected plant, so control relies on rigorous eradication efforts and using only virus-free planting material. And banana bacterial wilt, caused by Xanthomonas campestris PV mucocearum, is a significant and widespread threat in East and Central Africa, affecting all banana and plantain cultivars there, leading to devastating crop losses.
That sounds absolutely dire for the future of our favorite fruit. It seems like it's under attack from all sides. How are scientists faced with these relentless threats trying to solve these problems? Is it even possible to breed for resistance when the commercial varieties are so genetically uniform, basically clones?
It is an extremely difficult challenge, which is why it's such a complex problem. Cultivated bananas are parthenocarpic, right? They produce fruit without fertilization and are seedless. Most commercial varieties are also triploid, 3 sets of chromosomes.
Right, the weird genetics.
Yeah. This genetic architecture makes traditional breeding incredibly challenging because the unpaired chromosomes make it difficult for sexual reproduction to occur. It leads to very low seed production frequencies. It's almost like trying to solve a puzzle with an extra unmatched piece.
So conventional breeding is tough.
Very tough. Despite these significant hurdles, several innovative strategies are being employed. One approach is pedigree breeding, where existing triploids are bred against diploids, often wild ones that possess a desired characteristic like disease resistance, to create tetraploids with 4 sets of chromosomes.
Okay, diploids crossed with triploids makes tetraploids.
Right. These tetraploids can then be back-crossed to diploids to produce new, hopefully resistant triploids. Another method is reproductive breeding, which involves treating diploid plants with a chemical like colchicine to artificially induce tetraploidy, and then breeding those tetraploids with a second diploid to generate new triploid varieties.
So they're essentially trying to force genetic variation and stability into these otherwise sterile plants using these complex crossing schemes. Are there other, perhaps more direct ways to introduce resistance, maybe using newer technologies?
Yes, mutation breeding is also being utilized. This involves exposing plant tissues to mutagens, like radiation or chemicals, to generate random genetic variations, which can sometimes lead to desirable traits like disease resistance.
Inducing mutation there.
For instance, researchers are exploring genes like RGA2 or a nematode-derived gene called SEED9 for potential TR4 resistance through genetic modification. Critically, wild relatives of bananas, the diverse Musa spp, are proving to be absolutely vital sources of resistance genetics. They harbor the natural diversity that modern cultivars lack.
Going back to the wild ancestors.
Exactly. The Honduran Foundation for Agricultural Research, for example, has dedicated immense effort and successfully bred a new seedless banana resistant to some diseases. They achieved this by painstakingly finding rare seeds from hand-pollinating some 30,000 cultivated plants with pollen from wild Asian bananas.
30,000 plants hand-pollinated. That's an extraordinary and labor-intensive effort.
It really underscores the lengths scientists must go to.
Beyond the immediate threat of disease, what about the broader environmental footprint of large-scale banana cultivation? It can't be insignificant, especially with all that spraying you mentioned.
You're right, the sustainability concerns are very significant and far-reaching. The excessive use of fertilizers, particularly on large plantations, contributes greatly to eutrophication, nutrient pollution in nearby streams, rivers, and lakes, harming aquatic life and ecosystems.
Fertilizer runoff.
Big problem. Expanding banana production has also historically led to extensive deforestation, as more natural habitats are cleared for new plantations. As soil nutrients are rapidly depleted in monoculture systems, even more forest is often cleared for new cultivation, leading to severe soil erosion and an increased frequency and severity of flooding in surrounding areas.
The vicious cycle.
It can be. While voluntary sustainability standards, such as those from the Rainforest Alliance and Fairtrade, exist and aim to address these issues.
Yeah, you see those labels sometimes.
Right. They covered about 36% of banana exports in 2016, but that only applies to a relatively small fraction, around 8–10% of global banana production, mainly in export-focused countries.
So most production isn't covered by those standards.
Not yet. Furthermore, Pascal Liu of the FAO, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, in 2024 starkly described global warming as an enormous threat to the world's supply of bananas. It impacts growing regions through altered weather patterns, increased pests, and water scarcity.
Climate change hitting bananas too, of course. #####B, conservation of genetic diversity. Okay, given all these threats, diseases, environmental impact, climate change protecting the genetic diversity of bananas must be an absolutely paramount global effort. It sounds like a race against time to save not just the Cavendish, but all bananas.
It is an existential race. The narrow genetic diversity currently present in the overwhelmingly dominant cultivated bananas makes them extremely vulnerable not only to biotic threats like pests and diseases, but also to abiotic stresses such as drought, extreme temperatures, and soil salinity. Therefore, the rigorous conservation of the full spectrum of banana genetic resources, both wild and cultivated, is an ongoing critical global endeavor.
Where are these vital genetic resources being preserved? Is there like a Fort Knox for bananas? And how do they manage to conserve a plant that produces mostly seedless fruit?
Ha! A Fort Knox for bananas. I like that. Banana germplasm is conserved in numerous national and regional gene banks around the world, acting as living libraries of genetic material. The largest and most comprehensive collection, the International Musa Germplasm Transit Center, is meticulously managed by Bioversity International and hosted at KU Leuven in Belgium.
Oh, central hub in Belgium.
Right. Because most Musa cultivars are seedless, they cannot be conserved through seeds in the usual way that other crops are. So they are conserved by three main methods. First, in vivo.
Meaning alive.
Yeah, meaning they are planted and maintained in traditional field collections, effectively living botanical gardens. Second, in vitro, where they exist as tiny plantlets in test tubes within highly controlled laboratory environments. This allows for efficient space usage and disease control.
Like tissue culture.
Exactly. And third, through cryopreservation, where meristems, which are tiny sections of plant tissue containing actively dividing cells, are conserved in liquid nitrogen at an ultra-cold -196 degrees C, essentially freezing them in time for long-term storage.
Wow, frozen banana plant starters. That's fascinating how they adapt the methods for seedless varieties. What about the wild species? Since they're so important for providing those crucial resistance genes for breeding programs, how are they saved?
Genes from wild banana species are indeed invaluable and are conserved in various forms. This includes storing them as pure DNA samples and as cryopreserved pollen. Seeds from wild species are sometimes conserved as well, although less commonly, primarily because they can be difficult to regenerate and grow successfully.
Okay.
Additionally, bananas and their crop wild relatives are conserved in situ.
Meaning in their natural habitat.
Right, within their wild natural habitats where they evolved and continue to do so, allowing for ongoing natural adaptation. And a significant, often unsung part of this diversity is also preserved right in farmers' fields. Small-scale farmers, particularly in traditional growing regions, play a crucial role by continuously cultivating, adapting, and improving a wide array of traditional local cultivars. These small farmers are inadvertently but profoundly acting as crucial guardians of banana diversity, preserving genetic heritage through their daily agricultural practices.
That's a really important point. The farmers themselves are conservationists. ###C, global production and economic significance. Beyond the MARM and the science lab, bananas are a massive global business. Let's look at their sheer economic scale and impact around the world. They seem to be everywhere.
They certainly are, truly a titan of tropical agriculture. In 2018, bananas were exported in larger volume and to a greater value than any other fruit globally.
More than any other fruit, wow.
Yeah, underscoring their immense and undeniable economic significance as a primary commodity. Looking at 2022, the combined world production of bananas and plantains was a staggering 179 million tons.
179 million tons, hard to even picture.
It is. To give you a sense of scale, India and China together accounted for approximately 26% of this total, making them leading producers mainly for their vast domestic markets. Other major producing nations include Uganda, Indonesia, the Philippines, Nigeria, and Ecuador, showcasing a truly global distribution of production.
And who are the big players in moving all this fruit around the world? Those responsible for getting it to our supermarkets, the exporters.
Right. As reported for 2013, total world exports amounted to 20 million tons of dessert bananas and about 859,000 tons of plantains. Ecuador stands out as the leading exporter for dessert bananas, shipping out a massive 5.4 million tons,
Ecuador, okay.
followed closely by the Philippines with 3.3 million tons. For plantains, the Dominican Republic led the way, exporting 210,350 tons. This highlights how certain regions and countries specialize in export, contributing significantly to the global supply chain that brings bananas to consumers worldwide.
But it's important to remember, like you said with conservation, that it's not all about massive corporate plantations and big exporters, right? A huge portion of bananas are grown on a much smaller local scale.
Absolutely. And this is a crucial point often overlooked in the global export statistics. The vast majority of the world's bananas are actually cultivated not for international trade, but primarily for family consumption or for sale on local markets.
For feeding people locally.
Exactly. Countries like India and numerous other Asian and African nations are home to countless small-scale banana growers who cultivate diverse varieties and sell at least some of their crop directly to local communities. Even in regions like the Caribbean, peasants with small holdings, sometimes as little as 1 to 2 acres, produce bananas both for their own consumption and for the world market, often alongside other subsistence crops. This small-scale cultivation is absolutely vital for local economies, providing livelihoods and ensuring food security.
And they play a particularly vital role in keeping people fed year-round, especially in regions where other crops are seasonal, right? That hunger season idea.
Precisely. Because bananas and plantains produce fruit year-round, they provide an incredibly valuable and consistent food source, particularly during what is often referred to as the hunger season.
Right.
This is the critical period between the harvests of other seasonal crops when food supplies can be scarce. This continuous availability makes them immensely important for global food security, especially in tropical regions where they are a primary staple. Bananas are propagated asexually from offshoots, meaning they don't rely on seeds. Typically, the plant is allowed to produce 2 shoots at a time, a larger, more mature one for immediate fruiting, and a smaller sucker or follower that will produce fruit 6 to 8 months later.
Staggered harvest from one plant.
Yeah. As a non-seasonal crop grown in some 135 countries, this asexual propagation ensures that fresh bananas are available virtually year-round somewhere in the world, making them an unparalleled food resource.
So from a tiny botanical berry to a global commodity feeding millions, the banana is truly everywhere. But its impact extends far beyond the plate. It's deeply woven into human culture in so many surprising and unexpected ways. Let's start with its nutritional profile, because there are some common misconceptions, particularly about potassium.
Yeah, nutritionally, a raw banana without its peel is primarily composed of water, about 75%. It contains approximately 23% carbohydrates, 1% protein, and a negligible amount of fat. A typical 100-gram serving provides around 89 calories. It's a good source of vitamin B6, supplying 24% of the daily value,
B6, okay.
and offers moderate amounts of vitamin C, manganese, potassium, and dietary fiber. Surprisingly, while bananas are commonly perceived to have exceptionally high potassium content,
Everyone says eat a banana for potassium.
right, their actual potassium level is medium ranked among foods, providing only 12% of the daily value per 100-gram serving.
Only 12%.
Yeah.
Huh. So not a potassium superstar, just decent.
It's just decent, yeah. It's a classic myth buster. While good, it's not quite the potassium powerhouse many assume. Potatoes actually have more, for example.
Good to know. But beyond eating them raw as a simple fruit, bananas have an astonishing array of culinary uses across countless cultures worldwide. You touched on this, but let's dive deeper.
Indeed. Bananas are a staple starch for many tropical populations, forming the foundation of numerous dishes. Their taste and texture can vary significantly depending on the cultivar and ripeness, ranging from firm and starchy, ideal for cooking, to soft and sweet, perfect for desserts. Both the outer skin and the inner flesh can be eaten raw or cooked in various culinary applications.
Even the skin.
In some places, yes, cooked usually. The primary component of their fresh aroma is isoamyl acetate, often known as banana oil. That, along with compounds like butyl acetate and isobutyl acetate, is a significant contributor to the characteristic, instantly recognizable banana flavor.
That fake banana flavor you get in candy sometimes. Is that isoamyl acetate?
That's often the one, yeah. Though a real banana has a much more complex blend.
What are some specific examples of these diverse culinary applications, beyond just eating a ripe banana? It sounds like there's a whole world to explore.
Oh, countless forms and dishes. Plantains, for instance, rarely eaten raw, are often enjoyed cooked, frequently as fritters, like the popular tostones or patacones in Latin America.
Love coast stones.
Pisang goreng, bananas fried with a light batter, are a beloved street food across Southeast Asia. In Philippine cuisine, bananas are featured prominently in desserts like maruya, banana fritters, turon, banana spring rolls, and janaten, stewed in coconut milk.
Turon is amazing.
Right. Of course, they can be processed into various fruit preserves, like the jams we discussed. Banana chips, thinly sliced and fried bananas, are a common crispy snack in places like Kerala, India, or the Philippines. Dried bananas are often ground to make banana flour, a gluten-free alternative.
Banana flour, okay?
In Africa, particularly Uganda, matoke bananas are mashed and cooked in a rich sauce with meat and vegetables like peanuts or beans to create the hearty breakfast dish katogo. And in Western countries, bananas are famously used to make comforting baked goods such as banana bread, muffins, and pies.
Can't forget banana bread, especially during lockdowns.
Exactly, it had a real moment.
But it's not just the fruit itself that's used. You mentioned earlier that the entire plant provides culinary ingredients. That's incredible versatility, the flower, the leaves.
That's absolutely right. The banana plant is remarkably generous. The banana flowers, also widely known as banana hearts or banana blossoms, are a valued vegetable in South Asian and Southeast Asian cuisine. Their flavor resembles that of an artichoke.
Like an artichoke. Huh.
Yeah, and like artichokes, both the fleshy part of the bracts and the tender heart are edible and prepared in curries, salads, or stir-fries. The large, flexible, and naturally waterproof banana leaves, while generally too tough to be eaten directly, are often used as an ecologically friendly disposable food container or as a plate in South Asia and several Southeast Asian countries.
Using leaves as plates. Very sustainable.
Totally. In Indonesian cuisine, banana leaves are employed in traditional cooking methods like pipes and botak, where food ingredients and spices are carefully wrapped in the leaves and then cooked by steaming, boiling, or grilling. They also serve as a natural wrapper for certain types of tamales instead of corn husks.
Oh, instead of corn husks for tamales. Cool.
Yeah. When used for steaming or grilling, the banana leaves impart a subtle, sweet, and grassy flavor to the food while keeping it moist. In South India, serving traditional food on a fresh banana leaf is a customary and culturally significant practice. And in Tamil Nadu, India, dried banana leaves are even used to pack food and craft cups for liquid items.
And the pseudostem, that false trunk you said that's also used in cooking, this plant truly gives so much.
Indeed. The tender, innermost core of the banana plant's pseudostem, or trunk, is also utilized in various South Asian and Southeast Asian cuisines. For example, it's a key ingredient in the national dish of Myanmar mohinga, a flavorful fish noodle soup.
In mohinga. Wow.
Yeah. In Filipino cuisine, you'll find it in dishes like inubaran and kadyos, manik, kagu bad, where its crunchy texture and mild flavor add a unique element. It's a testament to the comprehensive use of this truly versatile plant.
Amazing. Okay, beyond food, the banana plant is also used for paper and textiles, which is an amazing demonstration of its fibrous strength. Tell me more about that.
Yes, the fibers harvested from the pseudostems and leaves of the abaca banana, Musa textilis, and other related banana species have been used for textiles in the Philippines since ancient times. Archaeological evidence of cloth weaving tools in the Philippines dates back as far as 1000 BC to 500 AD.
That's incredibly old.
Yeah, indicating a long and rich history of this craft. Examples of abaca-based textiles include the intricate taluk, skillfully made by the Tiboli tribe, and dagme, woven by the Bagobo people. The oldest surviving example of textile made from banana fibers is the Banton burial cloth from the Philippines, dated to the 13th and 14th centuries, which is exquisitely made from abaca fibers.
A burial cloth made of banana fiber.
Wow.
So these aren't just recent innovations. They're deeply rooted ancient traditions that highlight ingenious resourcefulness.
Absolutely. Spanish colonial records from the 16th century extensively mention abaca textiles, which acquired the Philippine Spanish name Madriñaque and the English name Manila hemp.
Manila hemp, I've heard of that. Strong rope, right?
Exactly. This incredibly strong fiber was not only used for indigenous clothing, but also for sails, for stiffening colonial-era clothing, hats, hammocks, matting, cordage, robust ropes, and for producing manila paper. By the 19th century, abaca fiber became a crucial economic export for the Philippines, highly prized globally for its exceptional strength and remarkable resistance to saltwater damage. ideal for maritime uses.
Makes sense why it was so valued.
Yeah. Large-scale cultivation of abaca then spread to other tropical regions like Sumatra, Central America, India, and Guam.
And this tradition of weaving banana textiles isn't limited to the Philippines either. It's found in other parts of Asia too.
Correct. A similar tradition of weaving banana textiles, specifically using Musa bazu, Japanese fiber banana, and Musa belbisiana, also existed among non-Han minority groups in southern China, dating back to at least the Han Dynasty. This textile tradition, along with the Musa bazu plant itself, known as Japanese basher, was introduced to the Ryukyu Islands of Japan around the 14th century. In Japan, the intricate kajikabashi process involves meticulously cutting leaves and shoots to ensure the fibers have optimal softness, boiling them in lye, and then painstakingly processing them by hand to create fibers of varying softness.
Wow, different softness for different uses.
Yeah, these are then used for diverse applications ranging from coarse tablecloths to exquisitely fine kimonos. Additionally, banana paper, a distinctive product, can be made either from the bark of the banana plant for artistic purposes or from the fibers of the stem and non-usable fruits, processed either by hand or through industrial methods.
Banana paper too.
Yeah.
Incredible. That's incredible versatility from food to clothing to paper. What are some of the other unexpected, perhaps even surprising uses for bananas and their various parts?
Well, the large leaves aren't just for food wrapping, they're also locally repurposed as natural umbrellas, quick shelter from rain or sun.
Makes sense, they're huge.
Interestingly, banana peel may have the capability to extract heavy metal contamination, like lead and copper, from river water, similar to other natural purification materials.
Really cleaning water with banana peels.
It presents a promising and eco-friendly environmental application for a material often discarded. Waste bananas, including those that are overripe or unsuitable for human consumption, are also widely used as feed for livestock.
Animal feed, okay.
And, on a more scientific note, like all living things containing potassium, bananas emit radioactivity at low levels due to the naturally occurring potassium-40 K40 isotope.
Right, the radioactive banana myth, sort of.
Well, it's real, but tiny. The banana equivalent dose of radiation was actually developed in 1995 as a simple and relatable teaching tool to educate the public about the natural, small amount of K40 radiation present in everyone and in common foods. It puts everyday radiation into perspective.
Ah, so it's a teaching tool, not a danger sign.
Exactly. Not dangerous at all in normal amounts.
And some people even experience allergies to bananas, which is an important health consideration you mentioned.
Yes, individuals with a latex allergy may experience a cross-reaction to handling or eating bananas. This is because certain proteins found in bananas are structurally similar to those in natural rubber latex, triggering an allergic response. It's known as latex fruit syndrome and is an important health consideration for those affected.
Latex food syndrome. Good to know. Okay, now for some of the truly fun stuff. The banana's role in arts and pop culture is surprisingly rich and often quite iconic.
Absolutely. Take the Edo period poet Matsuo Basho, for example.
Yeah.
He actually adopted his pen name from the Japanese word bashu for the Japanese banana plant.
Named himself after the banana plant.
Yeah. A bash plant in his garden, given by a grateful student, became a significant source of inspiration for his poetry and a symbol of his simple life and home.
That's lovely.
In music, the song Yes, We Have No Bananas, originally released in 1923, was an absolute phenomenon. Became a best-selling piece of sheet music for decades and particularly popular during actual banana shortages. A humorous commentary on scarcity.
Yes, we have no bananas. Classic. And who hasn't heard of someone slipping on a banana peel? It's a comedic trope that feels as old as time itself. Where did that even come from?
It is a true staple of physical comedy that has been around for generations and still makes people laugh. An American comedy recording from 1910 features a popular character, Uncle Josh, vividly describing his own such unfortunate incident. So it goes back at least that far, showing just how deeply ingrained this visual gag is in popular culture.
Over a century of slipping gags. Amazing.
In fine art, the banana's suggestively phallic shape has been deliberately exploited in works from Giorgio de Chirico's 1913 painting The Uncertainty of the Poet onwards, often adding layers of surrealism or symbolic meaning. More controversially, in 2019, an exhibition of Natalia LL's video and photographs showing a woman sucking on a banana at the National Museum in Warsaw was unexpectedly taken down.
Oh, I remember hearing about that controversy.
Yeah, the museum's director was reprimanded, sparking a public debate about censorship in art.
And of course, one of the most iconic album covers of all time, Andy Warhol's Banana for the Velvet Underground. Instantly recognizable.
Yes, the instantly recognizable cover artwork for the Velvet Underground's 1967 debut album features that bright yellow banana, created by pop art icon Andy Warhol. The original vinyl LP version even allowed the listener to quite literally peel this banana sticker.
Right, revealing the pink banana underneath.
Exactly, an interactive and playful element. In 1989, the feminist art collective Guerrilla Girls created a powerful screen print featuring two bananas, intentionally reminiscent of Warhol's, but arranged to form a zero wound to answer their provocative question, how many works by women artists were in the Andy Warhol and Tremaine auctions at Sotheby's?
Powerful use of the image.
And more recently, Italian artist Maurizio Cattelan created his 2019 concept art piece, Comedian, involving just a simple banana taped to a wall with silver duct tape.
The $120,000 banana.
That's the one. It gained significant notoriety, especially after another artist famously ate the banana during the exhibition, sparking global discussions about the nature of art and value.
That was wild. This fruit truly permeates every corner of human expression. What about its role in religion and folklore around the world? These to pop up there too.
It does. In India, bananas and banana plants play a prominent and auspicious part in many Hindu festivals and ceremonies. In South Indian weddings, especially Tamil weddings, banana trees are symbolically tied in pairs to form an archway.
Why an archway of banana trees?
It represents a blessing to the couple for a long-lasting, useful, and prosperous life, much like the perennial banana plant itself.
Symbolizing fertility and continuity.
Exactly. In Thailand, it's widely believed that a certain type of banana plant may be inhabited by a spirit called Nang Tani, a female ghost or nature spirit associated with trees and plants. People often tie colored satin cloth around the pseudostems of these particular banana plants as a sign of respect and to appease her spirit.
A banana ghost.
Okay. And in Malay folklore, the infamous female vampiric ghost known as Pontianak is often associated with banana plants, with its spirit said to reside within them during the daylight hours, adding a layer of mystery and superstition to the plant.
Wow, ghosts and spirits living in banana plants. It's truly a rich cultural tapestry, showing how profoundly this fruit has embedded itself in human stories.
Yeah.
However, the banana also unfortunately has a darker side in certain cultural contexts where it's been weaponized as a symbol.
Unfortunately, yes. In European, British, and Australian sport, the act of throwing a banana at a member of an opposing team has a long and deeply regrettable history as a form of overt racial abuse.
Yeah, that's horrific.
It is. This act, which was shamefully commonplace in football stadiums in England in the 1980s, is explicitly meant to taunt players of Black African ancestry by equating them to apes or monkeys. It's a stark and painful reminder that even a simple, innocent fruit can be tragically weaponized with deeply harmful and dehumanizing racial undertones. It's important to acknowledge all facets of its cultural resonance, including these painful, historical, and ongoing abuses, to fully understand the banana's complex place in our world.
Absolutely. It's crucial to acknowledge that painful history alongside all the positive aspects. Hashtag tag tag hat outro. Wow. This has been an absolutely epic journey. I mean, from being a seemingly simple botanical berry to an ancient traveler that literally circumnavigated the globe, a source of vital fibers, an artistic muse, a crucial economic commodity, and yes, even a controversial symbol in unfortunate circumstances. The banana story is far more complex, compelling, and deeply intertwined with human history and culture than I ever imagined. We've journeyed from its humble origins in New Guinea, across vast oceans and continents, through the precise step-by-step instructions of the Hip Hop Preserve collection.
Which I definitely want to try now.
Me too.
You?
And into the pressing challenges of modern cultivation and its profound cultural impact.
This deep dive has truly shown us that the banana is a remarkable example of nature's ingenuity and humanity's incredible adaptability and creativity. Its unique biology, its history intertwined with global migration and trade, and its future heavily dependent on our ability to innovate and conserve. It all tells a powerful story.
Yeah.
And the culinary techniques we explore today highlight an almost endless potential for transformation, proving it really is a canvas for flavor.
So the next time you encounter a banana, whether it's in a supermarket, a delicious dish you're enjoying, or even a piece of art that makes you think, I challenge you to pause. Consider the hidden histories, the scientific marvels, the intricate journey, and the creative potentials that you might now appreciate. Perhaps you'll even be inspired to try one of those innovative preservation techniques from the Hip Hop Preserve collection yourself, truly becoming a culinary artist. Or simply, take a moment to reflect on the incredible millennia-long journey this fruit has taken to reach your hand, and the universe of stories it holds.
Yeah, definitely. Each banana holds a universe of stories, waiting to be peeled back and discovered.
Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We hope you've enjoyed this fascinating instructional exploration and that you now see the banana in a completely new light.